Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Movement. Good morning. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day because I am. Every day is a beautiful day. Even though chaos and destruction and negativity are all around me and it tries to penetrate, but I shut it down at the door. We have to, people, because if you don't, you're going to get right back involved in it. And then there go your spiritual journey. You done blew it. But you got a chance to get back on it. You can always grow because we're going to grow as long as we live. We're going to grow. We keep growing. So why not get over the oppression while you're growing? Why not? Okay, so I saw an article the other day, and the article said African spirituality, people are leaving Christianity to go back to go to witchcraft. People are leaving Christianity to go to witchcraft. Okay, let me tell you something. Witchcraft has been around for centuries. This is not witchcraft, honey. When you talking about God and you on a spiritual journey and I'm happy and I'm eliminating chaos, drama, and negativity, what that got to do with witchcraft? This ain't got nothing to do with witchcraft, honey. I don't sit over here and talk to spirits. However, I meditate to the ancestors in my mind. I meditate to them. Just like you meditate, pray in your mind. That's the same thing. You meditate to God. You meditate, the ancestors right there. God give them the power to manifest things in your life. You look at God like a creator. God he's there. He's everywhere. Yes, but he also put people like, which you want to call them guardian angels. Some people say guardian angels. Okay. But the ancestors, they people who've been here before. So if you got evil spirits, like what I was dealing with in the house, if you got evil spirits, then you got to have good spirits. Think about it. Yep, you're right. 1 + 1 is 2. Okay, so now we got the ancestors that we're working with, and they are manifesting beautiful things in our life. It is so exciting because, see, you just think about all the good you can accomplish if you eliminate all that drama, all that chaos. And you got to start with the TV. Because, honey, I'm going to tell you something. I used to live for my shows. Deadly Women was one of them. I used to love Deadly Women. And when he would cut up, I'd sit there and think. Then I said, no, I got kids. No, I can't do that. I can't let the evil take over. See, because the evil was trying to take over. If I'm sitting there watching Deadly Women and watching how women kill their husbands, spouses, or mothers, or whoever it was they think about doing, and then when he make me mad, I think about Deadly Women. That's chaos, people. We got to eliminate that. We got to eliminate that drama because that evil will take over your life. I'm telling you, anything you put in your spirit, including porn, will take you to a dark place. You don't want to go there, and then you might accidentally, you don't know, you might accidentally download something you ain't supposed to be downloading, and here come the feds at your door. You don't want that. So why avoid all that in the first place and eliminate that chaos and that drama? You don't need that. Whatever you thinking out you want to do with your significant other, do that in your bedroom between you and them. But you ain't got to bring that drama and chaos, and there you go doing some other different things that you don't even want to be doing, like bringing people involved and all this other stuff. And then you sitting up there wondering what happened. How did it get like this? Because you involved that chaos and drama in your life. We already know who the have and have-nots are. You don't need Tyler Perry to tell you that with this drama and chaos. I'll let you know who they are. It ain't you. We trying to be. We on the way. We gonna be the haves. But right now, this country got us under oppression. And we trying to come out from under oppression with the GROW program. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom, through our mind. Okay, let me tell you something. I touched on some topics, and I just want to go back to them topics just real quick, because I want to talk to the talented and lost. You got to come up out these drugs, this mental bondage that you in because you under oppression. You going, and then I want to talk to the folks who going to the boat. I'm going to tell you something. That casino is a business. They may give you a little bit, a little this, a little that. You need to listen to the episode Talented But Lost, because you may need to hear that again and again and again. Because I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I go over and I listen to my, episodes, because they motivate me. They help me. Even though I don't do nothing, dibble and dabble in none of that stuff anymore. I don't do nothing but the Grow program. I live the Grow program. I mean, I'm at peace. I don't have no drama. I don't watch no TV. I check in on the news and I check in and make sure ain't no more drama and destruction came my way. I check in with that. But other than that, I shut TV down. I don't have time for TV. I do the Grow program. I do something positive. So that's what I want you to do, is do something positive. On this spiritual journey that you on, focus on God. Meditate on the Lord. What would God want me to do about this situation? How would God want me to act? I can't let them take me there. Yes, for every action, there is a reaction. But that reaction doesn't have to be negative. You don't have to act out like that. You go sit down somewhere and then they going to be looking at you crazy like, well, not what done gotten to her. I want to be like her. I want to change. She ain't cutting up and clowning with me no more. She ain't turning stuff up in here. She ain't yelling and screaming and cussing. She ain't doing none of that stuff no more. So I want to see, well, wait a minute. What's this growth stuff she talking about? See that? And then they going to want to do it. They going to want to get in on it because and then it's everybody on something positive. Everybody doing something positive because we trying to come up out of oppression and come out with substance. The kids going to want to get in on it. The kids going to see some positive in mom and dad. They going to want to do something different, than what they've been doing. Come tell you something. Before the Grow program, I got a 16-year-old daughter, and me and her were butting heads. We were butting heads in that house, but the ancestors revealed to me how to talk to my baby, to let her express how she feel, because I wasn't allowed to do that as a child. We don't have to think for them as teenagers. Allow them to think for themselves, but we got to monitor their actions and just trust your child. But what you got to do, you have to go and know where they at. You got to take them where they going, and the other parent got to bring them home, vice versa, however way y'all work it out. But don't let these kids be out here walking these streets, because ain't nobody looking for them. Dateline, 2020, MSNBC, none of them. Ain't nobody looking for them. They don't care. They trying to figure out why the white man did that to the white woman. That's the only thing they worrying about. So you need to stop letting your kids walk the streets, and be here, there, and everywhere and not know where they at. See, back in the day, we could do that. It wasn't no cell phones. We can go and stay gone to the street light come on. But you can't do that with these kids no more. You just can't do it. I couldn't even sleep at night. Just thinking about if my daughter was out there and I ain't know where she at, and you can just be back at 12 o'clock. That's your curfew. But where she at though? Who with her? What's she doing? Is she okay? Have you checked in with her? Have you found out if he all right? Because see, these young men coming up, they had a young boy they found in the gym wrapped up in some mats with his organs missing. Come on now, what's going on in school? So we need to know where our children are. We need to know what's going on with them, these young kings and queens. Can't just let them go no more, mama. Can't do that. You got to hold on to him, Dad. You going out there to fix a car. You going to the lumber yard. You going wherever you going. Take him with you. Keep up with these kids. Know where they at. Show them how to do some different things. I was in the kitchen with my grandmother. I learned how to cook. I learned how to do stuff. I watched them. And now these kids, they ain't got time for that. They ain't got time to learn how to cook, see how to do different things. But we need to grab them back in and show them, hey, look, you can't just go. I can't let you. Something may happen. We have to take control, people. We got to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. If you are able to get onto the Grow Facebook page, I am actually, growing it. But the Facebook ministry is all on it's called A Queen Jacqueline Hunt. And that is actually the ministry. But we're going to move it over to the actual Grow page. So God bless you on your spiritual journey. This is an African spiritual journey This is not voodoo, witchcraft, black magic. I don't even remember them mention God in those two, but this has nothing to do with that. This is beautiful. May God bless you and keep growing.